What's up everyone? So today we're going to be messing around with big tires and suspension changes on the Gladiator here, just for fun to see how it affects things. So first off, I have the big RC four-wheel drive mudslingers on here, and then for shocks they're the original Kinetic KMS double barrel kit, which with these kits all you did is take the upper mount, lower mount from the original shock as well as the shock shaft, and you put them together yourself. Good shocks. I have the light pressure springs on, so they're the full length springs for the double barrels, and we'll see how it does. So yeah, first straight up, you can see they're in the stock mount, and then I will lean them and we'll see how that goes. And I'm not sure what else, but I'm just kind of making it up as I go along. I'll try all the most common shock mods that I've seen, and we'll mess around on a few lines. So enjoy everyone. So let's start with one of the hardest lines. This does have the Trio 23% overdrive in the front, so that's going to affect it a little bit. You can see them shocks kicking out. I don't have any limit straps right now. That'll be the next thing we try before I lean them. Definitely has a higher center of gravity now too, which is to be expected. You can see the taller tires cause it to torque twist more too. Then with the longer shocks, because it torque twists, it leans a whole lot more than it would with stock. I don't think it's gonna make it anymore. Oh, I backed up too far. As you can see, this is definitely a mud truck setup, not a crawler setup. With enough finagling, it should make it though. Yeah, see? Oh, it didn't roll there before. Moving on to another difficult spot. We have a side hill right here. You can really feel that stock motor struggling with the tall tires too. It does look cool, I'll give it that. See, the long travel made it flop into that hole. And over we go. Let's try that again. That suspension just wants to flop. This is why you need limit straps with these double barrels. Let's try that one more time. So last try here, I'm really gonna hug the side. There we go. So here's the last bit we're going to play on quick, and then I'm going to change the shock location a little bit, see how that affects it. See, the main draw of these big tires is just the size. Makes them cheater tires because they can go over much bigger gaps. But as you can see, it's not a ton more capable just because of the bigger tires. The negatives are it rolls so much easier, especially with the floppy double barrel shocks, the way they're set up. Oh, I don't think it's gonna make this with the lean. Oh, I'm wrong. Alright, one last line here. See if I can go up right here. I haven't tried this spot yet. Alright, now let's change the shocks out and try some more. Okay, so next with the long travel shocks, I went and leaned the shocks in. You can see I moved them from the stock location down to the chassis with the lean on them. Sorry, it's not really in focus. And in the rear, I actually had to put a zip tie to kind of preload it a little bit because it was squatting really bad. So yeah, I'm going to show you how it performs like this on top of the double barrels with the long springs. So enjoy. So at this point, the suspension drops down so far, it actually affects the drive lines. They're maxing out. You can hear the universals in there kind of making a noise. So yeah, let's try it. I don't have my hopes up because I know how it performs with the stock shocks leaned like that. Yeah, that's way worse. So yeah, I've seen people with this setup. That's why I'm trying it. I'm going through all the setups I've seen recommended in groups and stuff. And this, especially without limit straps, no, don't do it. So, just goes to show there is such thing as too much flex. It does look silly, even with the big tires. So yeah, just for the heck of it, let's try another spot. So don't roast too hard in the comments. I'm doing these particular setups here to start for noobs that would just kind of throw the double barrels on and big tires and think that makes a good crawler. And there's definitely more to it than that. Oh, can we make it? No. So as you can see, especially with friction shocks, leaning them really messes up their performance. Basically, they'll offload at random. Limit straps will help, and I do plan on trying a couple different limit strap setups just to see how they affect it. but I'm pretty sure I'll be back at stock. As I was saying, I'll probably end up putting it back to the stock shock setup because I actually like how it's set up stock. I don't know. Let's see if we can do this without flipping. Side hills are horrible with these shocks. There it goes. So there's not much more I can show you with this particular setup. I'm going to work out some limit straps. We'll try 2 different ones. We'll try the rubber band, the kinetic recoil system, and just 1 bit of fishing line in the middle of the axle and see how they compare. Before that though, I gotta see how it handles this spot. There goes the front picking up. Somehow made it. Alright, now I'll put some limit straps on. Okay, so I lied. We're gonna try full droop before we do the limit straps. This is the same setup as the last shots where it's the double barrels leaned. There's just no spring on them at all. It still kicks out. Now this is for the people that were gonna say, well, it's because you had springs on it. That's why it couldn't climb that hill. It's not the limit straps. No, still can't climb it. Handles like a floppy noodle. So yeah, I just wanted to show you that. It still does kick out even without springs on it. Still makes that though. So let's move on to one more line. So one more line before it gets dark. I want to try and go up over this with the full droop going on here on the double barrels. Whoop. Suspension kicked out. Try that again. All right, let's try. Let's see if we can get down this side hill or if it's going to offload on me. Nope, much better than with springs when it comes to the side hilling. So now I'm going to wait till tomorrow so we have more light and then put some limit straps on here and we'll see how it does. Okay, so the first limiting strap I did is the fishing line in the center of the axle. So I'm not sure how well you can see it, but there is some fishing line right there. And I've also got it on the front. It's attached to the center mount where the Y-link would have attached. So that's that. I didn't limit it a crazy amount, but that's because anymore, and it actually started to lose articulation. So this is actually a good excuse to use this that a buddy just sent me. So we have a flex ramp here. Let's see how far it'll go. About right there. So yeah, let's try this out and see how it does with the fishing line limiting straps. So Same as before, we'll try it with this hill. This is with the fishing line limit straps in the center of the axle, no springs, and the double barrel shocks are leaned. See, it doesn't help with the torque twist at all, but it does help the front from kicking out as much. You can see the front end isn't picking up like it was. It's still gonna go over though. Still can't really make it. Yes, these big tires do rub. I'll try it with the small tires too. There we go. And it made it that time. We've got the next line. It's definitely a lot more planted than it was, but still not as good as stock. So last little section here, we're gonna mess around on the side of this hill just to see how it does, and then I'll change the type of limiting strap. Probably just going with a rubber band if I have one that'll work, to show you what I'm talking about. Then we'll switch over to small tires and possibly stock shocks and see how those mods go. See, it climbs that much better. And now I'll switch it out and see if there's a better solution for limiting straps. Okay, so I took the fishing line out from the center of the axle, and now we're doing a different form of limiting strap. This would be my favorite way to do it. And that is, I took a rubber band, ran it behind the upper shock mount. It goes along the shock underneath the lower mount, across, and same thing on this side. Same thing in the rear, but unfortunately I didn't have two rubber bands that were the same strength, so you can see the front definitely hangs down lower, but this can drop down if it wants to. So yeah, we're gonna try that out. First, let's see how it affects the articulation. I don't think it's gonna affect it too much. Let's move this over a bit. The tires hitting the body limit it the most. You can see the rear is limiting though. That rubber band holding it. But yeah, unfortunately I gotta use what I've got, and that rubber band's all I've got. So yeah, let's go try this out. Here we go, up the hard hill again. See, it sucks we had to use a stiff rubber band in the rear, but it helps. With them on all four corners like that, it actually helps fight the torque twist. Let's see if we can get up this. There we go. And it made it. See, stretchy limit straps like rubber bands or the kinetic recoil system that I was gonna also try, but it's exactly the same as rubber bands. The only difference is it uses a couple metal hooks and some springs. I'll actually link my past video of that here in the description for you all. So yeah, let's move on to the next line. I'm sure it'll do fine. So of course we've got to try this line again. Got to compare them all. Although this setup does great, you got to wonder what's the point of getting double barrels if you're limiting them so much. Honestly, I don't know. I'd much rather have the oil-filled hot racing shocks anymore than double barrels. They were impressive when I first tried them, but there wasn't many options then. One more try here. There it goes. Now I'm sure it's going to be fine going up this part. After this, we'll put the small tires on and try it out and see how it does. Now here's why the limit straps are stretchy. It'll hit the bottom and that front axle will actually drop down so that it can drag its belly over. Now let's put the small tires on and try this again with the same setup. So that's the end of this video, everyone. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope it showed a few of the differences with and without limit straps, or how you position the double barrel shocks in terms of performance. So that's all we really have time for in this video. I'm sorry it's kind of long, but it just kind of drug on a little bit. In part 2, we're going to be trying the double barrel shocks with the smaller tires. For those of you that are going to be saying, oh, well, it's because of the big tires rubbing, I'll try the same mods that were on the last run here with the rubber bands and double barrels leaned. And then I'll try the setup that's currently on here, which I'm not going to show you until the next video. You can just see how much flex there is. It's total overkill, but we'll see how it does. So if you haven't subscribed yet, be sure to subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss it. Part 2, we're also going to be trying out the stock shocks and a few mods with those just for the fun of it. So yeah, hope you all enjoyed. Hit that like button if you did. It really helps the channel out. I'll talk to you all in the next one. TPS.